Hi guys, what's up? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Diana, and today we're going to continue the series on the 12 houses of astrology. Right now we are at the 10th house. I changed my hair. I'm ready for the summer, plus Uranus is on my is transiting like right on top of my ascendant right now. It's huge changes for the way that I look and my appearance and stuff. So yes, I do look a little different. If you don't know your birth chart, please get it, because in order to know if you have any planets that fall in your 10th house, you need to know your birth chart and you need to know your time of birth, and the links are below so that you can get your birth chart through astro.com, AstroTheme, or Cafe Astrology. So anyways, enough of my blabbing. I'm gonna go ahead now and talk about the 10th house. So what is the 10th house? The 10th house is your public image. It's what you project when you go out into the world, and it's what you turn on in yourself. Like the 10th house is not an unconscious house. It's something that you are working on to project at work. Whatever your midheaven is, I was reading an article on astro.com, if your midheaven is a Capricorn, you just put professional in front of your midheaven and you're striving to be a professional Capricorn, a professional Aries, professional Sagittarius. So, whatever your midheaven is, which I'm not really going to get into midheavens, I'll make another series on that. You're literally projecting that. So in my case, my midheaven is Capricorn, so I'm striving to be somebody who seems so responsible at work and so hardworking. Obviously I have like Neptune and Uranus in my 10th house fucking shit up, but we'll talk about those placements in a little bit. Now your midheaven is like your 10th house is the legacy you want to leave behind. It's what you want to be known for. Are you going to be known for being a loving, caring, nurturing person, a loving, caring, nurturing mother, this hardworking person that seems so philosophical all their life, this religious person, this successful CEO of a company? Any planet that's in the 10th house is gonna be a planet that you work hard at. I don't think that any planets in the 10th house have it pretty easy. Like, if you had Venus in your first house, there's naturally going to be something beautiful or graceful about you. But with Venus in the 10th house, for example, you're going to have to project that beauty so that the public can see it. So you're going to have to work harder and harder for any planet in the 10th house to be seen by the world. You can maybe, it's not seeing it in yourself, it's the world seeing it and the world admiring you for it. So when you have planets in the 10th house, something, in your childhood or in your development with your parents, taught you to be kind of like, maybe taught you that you lacked, that quality of that planet, and therefore you work hard for it so that the public can see you and value you for it. How do you act? It's also your relationship to your bosses. Are you going to work for these big companies, or are you going to be self-employed? Or are you going to be constantly changing careers and trying to figure out what you're going to do with your life? That's the 10th house in summary. So now I'm gonna get started by talking about each planet and go through that in the 10th house. So let's talk about the sun. The sun in the 10th house. I think that the sun in the 10th house is fucking great. I work for a major company, and I'm pretty sure a lot of my bosses in the past and a lot of people who can climb up the ladder in big CEO companies or corporations, as far as like, getting into management, have the sun in the 10th house, because, that means that their ego is all about work. They love getting recognized for the work that they do. It's kind of loud and in your face. People are drawn to you when your sun's in the 10th house. You consciously just, it's all work for you, but it's kind of like, easy. Like, people may do things for you at work. People, you're gonna shine in whatever you do. If you own your own business, it's gonna, you know, be really known by the public. Maybe on social media, it's gonna be really recognized, and it's just gonna stroke your ego that way. You know, the sun being your ego, it's in the house of Capricorn, giving you Capricorn-like qualities, 10th house qualities, making you responsible, hardworking, you know, realizing that, you know, doing great things and getting to the top is a step-by-step project. And it's easy for you to understand that when your sun is in the 10th house. This literally, the sun is lighting up the house of your career and your legacy. It's really bright for you up there in the public sphere. Okay, moon in the 10th house means that you really care about what other people think about you. You are kind of sensitive to, you know, criticism of other people. And yes, you may work in areas of, like, you know, nurturing, or you may work with women, or you're a stay-at-home mom at some point of your life. So the problem with the moon in the 10th house is that you need to learn not to care about what other people think about you, and not to be as emotionally receptive to the needs of others. Think about yourself first and what makes you happy. At the same time, make sure that your whatever career you choose to do with, you know, and more than likely it's probably in some form or another taking care of others. Just make sure it's meeting your emotional needs. In the 10th house, Mercury in the 10th house is great because it means that you enjoy going to work. You're a communicator in the public eye. You can talk your way through interviews. You can talk your way through, you know, management meetings and presentations. Maybe you have a job that involves a lot of movement and traveling and connecting and socializing and networking with different people. That's really what fulfills you. Maybe something in writing or in the media, or you know, online. That's really what you have to do with Mercury in the 10th house. You have a lot of jobs going on at one time, and you get enjoyment from that. Mercury in the 10th house, of course, you want to be appreciated and, you know, seen by the public as somebody who's smart and knows what to say. Like, that's, you need recognition from that. Venus in the 10th house. Venus in the 10th house is awesome because at work you may find love. You're probably going to be seen as really beautiful in the public eye, but that's only because you work hard for it. You work hard to have a nice social grace. You work hard to be charming. I mean, those aren't skills that you're born with. Those are skills that you acquire. You work hard to just be beautiful anywhere you go. You may marry, you know, for, you know, higher social standing. And you may marry, you know, somebody, you may fall in love with somebody that you work with and that has a higher social standing than you. With Venus in the 10th house, sometimes they say that being pretty, you know, it's kind of vain, but, you know, being pretty helps you get ahead in your career. And on the other hand, it can make you look kind of snobby if Venus is not well aspected. But you may do something in regards to the arts, beauty, makeup, fashion, design. Let's talk about Mars in the 10th house. Mars in the 10th house means that you can fucking own your own business and get shit done. You're maybe not too fond of authority. Maybe you don't get along with your bosses. Maybe it's not good for you to work in companies where it's not good for you to work with companies or in jobs that you can't do what you want because you'll have problems with your authority figure since you are authority. Maybe you need a job where you can just use all of your physical energy and you want to be recognized by the public for how strong you are. Maybe you'll put in a lot of work at the gym to, you know, make your physique stand out to the public. Maybe, you know, you're going to be working in, you know, really Mars type careers like police officers, military, I don't know, anything that involves your physical body. And even if you don't, you're going to have all your energy is going to be devoted to your career. And you're somebody that gets shit done. So let's talk about Jupiter in the 10th house. Jupiter in the 10th house is great because that means you'll have a lot of doors open for you easily when it comes to your career. But maybe it's because Jupiter is an optimistic, benefic planet. So maybe you're very like good with like the law of attraction, which I mean kind of helps. Maybe you learned at a young age, because you know Jupiter is a philosophical planet that, you know, what you manifest you get, and you know, people like think that you have lucky breaks, but it's really you manifesting everything. Maybe you're seen as this like funny, witty person at work. You know how to turn on the humor, and you know how to turn on the wisdom to the public eye, and that's what you want to be recognized for with Jupiter in the 10th house. Okay, let's talk about Saturn in the 10th house. Saturn in the 10th house does really well. I mean, Saturn's in its own natural chart, so that means that, you know, you are the GOAT. You can climb up the mountain. You can climb up these big, you know, corporate America companies and become the CEO. You can start your own business and have it be successful because you know what it takes. You are organized. You know that it takes a lot of hard work. You're a hard worker with Saturn in the 10th house. Maybe you bite off more than you can chew sometimes, yes, but you know, you want to be valued for being this hardworking person that has patience. You can do really big things. The only thing with Saturn in the 10th house is, you know, I would just make sure that you learn to appreciate all of your accomplishments, because sometimes when Saturn is in this house, you don't see your accomplishments. You just are too busy like thinking about, okay, I did this and I accomplished all of this. You don't even realize what you accomplished, and you don't take the time to appreciate it. You're like, what's next? Neptune in the 10th house can mean that you really don't know what you're going to do with your life, but you just know you want to do something that's really awesome. So, you know, you work really hard at your career or this job only to find out it's not really that fulfilling. So you get kind of disappointed and like lots of disillusionment with your career. Obviously, it's confusing too because you don't know what you want to do with your life. You know, you just want to help people. So maybe you work with charities or you work with organizations that are like so selfless. But at the same time, you know, your public image is seen as somebody who can easily be taken advantage of. So you may be an easy target for the public. It may be also good that you do something that's artistic, that you work, you know, in front of a camera, or, you know, maybe you're what do you call it? An actress with Neptune, or you have some ability to be creative and be in front of camera or do photography, something artistic with Neptune. So let's talk about Uranus in the 10th house. Uranus is freedom, and it's this rebellious planet. So you don't like authority. You don't like being told what to do. And you don't like the whole idea of, you know, going to school and getting a job in something boring. You constantly have to be learning and experimenting with what you want to do with your life. You want to be a rebel. You want to be free. So with with Uranus in the 10th house, I would not, you know, suggest that they get a career that is going to get boring. I would suggest maybe something technology, because that's always changing, or starting their own business in something creative. Like, you know, I'm here doing astrology. I have other aspects in my chart that tell me that, you know, I have to work with other people's money, or I'll get money working with other people's money. But, you know, part of me is this rebellious person. Like, I want to do things my own way, and if somebody tells me I can't do something at my job, it makes me want to do it more. So that's kind of how I implement my Uranus right now. But yeah, being free and being able to experiment is important for anybody with Uranus in the 10th house. So let's talk about Pluto in the 10th house. Pluto in the 10th house means obsession over your career and obsession over power. These are the people that can, you know, if they're not careful, they can get really greedy in their careers and become obsessed with being the best of the best. Maybe they don't do well with competition. It also means power struggle. So maybe these people, like, first, and you know, at some point in their lives, they'll have problems with their boss. Corporations can, you know, or they can be part of corrupt corporations, or, you know, they can literally, if they work for a company that's corrupt, they can show the world the corruption that's going on within the company and be a change for that. They literally, Pluto in the 10th house has the power to like transform any career they desire into what they want. That was my description for the 10th house. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'm excited to talk about the 11th house next. And if you guys have any questions, leave them down below, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.